Welcome to Princess Lillian's Garden. This evening I'm going to talk about winter sowing, a gardening method that I have been using to create vegetables and flowers for my garden. It's very convenient to use because you can put the seeds in the soil and you don't have to stress about maybe they're going to get eaten or carried away by squirrels or washed away, as is sometimes the case. You'd only need to purchase two things, and that is the soil and the seeds. When you've got your soil, then you would need bottles. We all have bottles. These are bottles of drinks that we've had, and this helps save even the recycling, because when we have bottles like this, I've only got this one in this past year. These are the ones I've used in the past. You would take this bottle and cut it at a portion that is about just 4 inches away. That will be about halfway up most bottles, so that you can fill with soil up to about this level. And remember to drill holes at the bottom. You put in the soil, you put in your seeds, and wrap a duct tape around it, and you put it out in the garden. Put it in a portion of your garden where the sun would actually reach it, but it's out of the wind. You can put it inside a garden bed so that it is actually more protected. You can have about 4 or 5 of them in one container and place them all together in a portion of your garden bed if you use beds, or inside a garden pot that hasn't got any plants in it. You'd have to do this at a time when you still have winter left, and then it's called winter sowing, because these plants are going to start germinating and growing in spring. I've put this in since December. Just put the soil in up to the height that I said. Put the seeds in, because they're a group of seeds, not all the same. So I just put this tape on it so that I'll remember what I've put inside. What you have to do is make sure you put a mark on it, or you write the name of what you've sown inside. You can sow your entire garden, or you can just sow maybe 3, 4, or 5 bottles that you require for specific things. You can use this method for vegetables, onions, green leaf salads, kale, even trees. You can use this method. Winter sowing can be practiced by anyone who is actually not very good at gardening. It can also be practiced by people who are very good gardeners. Winter sowing just takes the scale of your gardening to another level. I'm going to show you what I do with this definition of winter sowing, and you may use it in your garden too. Which we use bottles as little glass houses. You would have this bottle. It's protecting the plant from everything outside. It's not going to be heated because you put it out there. You're not able to put any form of heating on it. At the end, your plant that is outside will already feel the same as it is. It doesn't need to be hardened. The plants that you're bringing from indoors would need to be hardened. That's just one advantage of winter sowing. Another advantage is that squirrels and birds cannot come along and pick your seeds from this bottle. And thirdly, it just relieves you from having to sow so many things indoors. If you are able to do some outside, then you have your time and your space to do your seed starting of the specific warm weather seeds that you want to start indoors, maybe under grow lights. What we need is simply a bottle, transparent or translucent, can be a milk jug, can be white, but it should be translucent that some light can pass through it, or a lot of light, and then you should be able to cut it and put holes in it. You put the soil in, leave about half an inch, and then you cover it, seal it, and put it outside. The seeds will start growing, and in about 8 weeks we'll have something like this. You can transplant it into your garden bed, and then you start looking after it straight away. You don't have to keep bringing it in and taking it out as if you're trying to harden it off. Another way in which I use these bottles is by having this pot inside and there's no hole at the bottom. So what I'm growing, for example, if I want to do an extension for my tomatoes, will be in here. I grow my tomatoes, but I will have it indoors. I also do the same for my potatoes, and this is the example. And the potatoes have grown. This is just to give them a bit of a warmer environment than the general warmth of the kitchen that we're growing in. It helps to speed up the growth rate, and this every little helps with the things that you're doing in the garden. I've taken off some of this, and I still have a lot left because it's feeling really humid in there, and the growth rate is increased. So winter sowing is very good because it frees us up time, and it enables us to grow a lot more than we would have been able to achieve if you wanted to grow everything all at the same time when spring is close. Because you can start your winter sowing even in autumn, middle of winter, just depending on the hardiness of each set of seeds. You can put 3 bottles outside, and then another day put another 3 bottles outside, and you have an entire collection of bottles. And this saves us a lot of time, so that when spring now comes along, you have a lot of little seedlings already prepared. I hope you will watch my next video on how I grow this potato inside this bottle. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel.